I was eager to meet India's first female super cop and most admired woman. But in my rendezvous, I met someone the world hasn't seen. Kiran Bedi, the person, with her daughter, Saina. Kiranji, it's so nice to finally meet you in person.
Thank you. So was I looking forward to, and finally we met.
You know, so much has been written about your daring as India's first woman police officer. But in the role of honour of your achievements, one picture is engraved in my mind. 1979, when you led the charge against Akali mobs in Delhi. You fought with just a wooden baton in your hand. How did you dare?
I don't know, but that was my duty to do. That's what I was supposed to do. That's my training. That's what I am.
But the men in your squad ran away.
They did.
Why didn't you?
I don't know, but I just stayed on. It was sheer sense of duty. If I'm supposed to be there and not run away.
This represents to me the spirit of Kiran Bedi, fearlessness of Kiran Bedi.
Believe me, I've not experienced this only once. I've done it again and again. This made news and became visible. There are many which didn't.
Can you teach people to be fearless?
No, I don't think so. I didn't learn to be strong and courageous by police training. I learned the art of defending myself. I learned the art to attack. But the jigra, the heart, I think you're born with.
Have you never faced fear?
I have. I have faced fear, but for a split second. And then the whole focus became, how do I surmount it? What do I do to win the situation?
What about normal human fears?
Well, I have fears which are personal. I've just gone through a major fear. I always feared my mother leaving me. And I'd started to sense that one day I'm going to lose her. And she started to probably instinctively say, I'm not here too long with you. And I would say, why are you saying this, Mommy? And many times she was sleeping and I would go next to her, hope she's breathing, just to see if she's breathing. Or put my hand near somewhere her nose to feel the breath. So I've known that fear. I've not known professional fear.
What was your relationship like with your mother?
The finest relationship a mother-daughter can ever have. There was total selflessness for each other. And she did it all for me. Without her, I wouldn't have done it so well in my career. She loved me. She loved to see me grow, shine, spread, progress, prosper. And she would be there for me always.
I can imagine losing her must have been...
I lost her in a most tragic way.
She had a stroke.
Yes. And she went away without saying a bye-bye.
It's 4 years now. Is the pain any less?
I'm still getting over it. I pray before her every day. And let her know that I'm walking the path she left me on.
Kiranji, you know, the choices we make define us as the people we are. Why did you choose to be a cop?
I was brought up, I think, for it, though I didn't know it.
But night raids, narcotic dealers, smugglers, why would you opt for that kind of a life?
Because I was growing up with a sense of giving.
Giving? You could do social service?
But this is much more, this is giving through instant power. You're not begging people. You can get things done by your orders.
But tell me, in a male bastion, getting ahead, what was the hardest part for you?
Nothing. I didn't bother. They didn't bother me. I just made my way. If they blocked it.
Did they block it?
At times, yes, they did. But for me, their blockade, if any, was taken into stride that that's a part of the profession, not because it's gender.
They called you a chokri in the beginning, no?
Yes. I heard that they used to say, but I never heard them. But one of my seniors said it, hey, chokri. And I said, sir, I think I have a name called Kiran.
Were you ever offered a bribe?
Yes.
How?
In the early stages of my career.
Who?
Businessmen.
Oh, businessmen.
Yes. Who wanted their houses to continue to be gambling dens for Diwali. So they would come saying, आपकी बेटी के लिए.
मतलब?
ये आपकी बेटी के लिए. आपके लिए नहीं, बेटी के लिए.
Oh,
for your
अच्छा.
daughter. And my daughter would be 3-4 years
और
old.
कितना देते?
Sometimes they'd bring a golden wristwatch or a golden necklace. My daughter would be running around saying, hey, beti, idhar aap, shabash, beto. and say, "Ye main tere liye aaya, dekho pehno." Poor girl won't even know what to do. She'll look up to me and I'll say, "Out. You out and you out." I think the message was loud and clear.
You do work in a very masculine environment. You're doing a man's job. Is there a feminine side to you which the people don't see?
I'm a very concerned mother at home.
Do you do female things like, do you cry in a movie?
Long ago, I may have cried. But I cry when I'm in grief. I do cry. Tears come very easily, but tears of joy come out much more.
Do you do girly things?
Girly things, none.
None, no?
Left them long ago, because it's been all books and rackets. Then on to my work, but there are no girly things.
You've worn a sari only thrice.
Yeah, it's a punishment for me. If anybody's to punish me, say get into a sari. It would totally imprison me.
Tell me, is it true that when you were in college, they didn't elect you as head girl?
Yes.
So in a fit of temper, you cut your hair?
Yes, you're right. I grew my hair to be a head girl, and then I cut them again when they didn't elect me, because then they didn't matter anymore.
No jewelry ever?
No.
Never worn bangles?
No.
Bracelets?
No.
How strange.
They're all obstacles.
You've been a national champ, an Asian champ in tennis.
Yes.
It was also on the tennis courts that you met your future husband, Brij Bedi.
Yes. We belonged to the same city, Amritsar, and tennis friends, playing tennis regularly.
Then how did it develop into?
I don't know, suddenly. It just happened. Probably because he was very considerate towards me, in the sense that if I was those days practicing for Asian Tennis Championships, and I needed all the time to practice. And every time I was in a rush to play, he would give me his turn, saying, "I know you are short of time and you need extra practice."
How sweet.
He was very generous. And then he would have great respect for whatever I was doing. And I guess that's all that I was looking from a man.
Then is it true that at 2 in the morning you went to a mandir to get married?
Oh yes. In fact, he had to my mother-in-law decided that this is very vital. This is the most auspicious time to get married.
Okay.
So he was supposed to come and pick me up at 2 o'clock at night. And our main gate got bolted and he couldn't open the door. So somehow he put his hand in and managed it. And we managed to make the time. And he woke us all up saying, "Get up, we're getting married." And then we had to even wake up the pujari. I think he also went to sleep.
But the pujari said that God is sleeping.
Yes, because it is is वक्त तो मंदिर बंद होता है. God is sleeping. You're right. You seem to be knowing more. So we just went around it and we garlanded each other. And that's when we were married. Next morning I went to work.
So you didn't move in together?
No. After 3 days we had a wedding reception, which was a joint reception, where we both pooled. He and I pooled to say it's a joint reception. So nothing from the girl's side or the boy's side.
Okay.
And then I moved on.
So you got married in 1972?
75. You're right, 72. How can you? You're damn right. 1972.
And in the same year, you were selected to join the Indian Police Service.
Yes.
So for you, the bifurcation started immediately.
Yes, it was anticipated. I wanted a strong career in my hand before marriage. That is what was decided, that I get married before the training begins.
So how did it affect your family life in that sense?
No, but I was grooming up to work, and be married, and not be married and work. It was work and be married. So that was very clear.
What did your husband feel about your career?
In fact, I think he equally was looking forward to it. And as far as the Indian Police Service decision is concerned, he's an equal partner in that decision. He was looking forward to my growth, and he didn't want to come in my way.
So as a woman, would you say you've invested more time in your career than in a family life?
Absolutely.
You have?
Yeah. Career has been my major share, and police career is very demanding. It demands the whole of your 24 hours.
Have you ever felt guilt about your work priority?
No. No. Because all these decisions are consciously taken. Even my daughter was planned to be born in 1975. And it was planned no more. That's it.
You know, when you have commitments, when you have a goal to reach, it has to take a toll on one's family life. Was there a price to pay?
I've paid no prices. I've always made choices. It was a clear choice never to be a housewife. And I've not been a housewife even for a single day. But to be an equal partner, yes. And to pursue my career, 100% yes. Be a mother, yes. But never be a housewife. And never, ever invest time into cooking, because that's, for me, burning time. These are all my choices. I have not sacrificed. I had grown up to carve out a life of my own and not get restricted to be a Mrs. So-and-so. That's it.
But after a while, your husband and you did decide to live separately.
He has his factories in Amritsar, but we did go apart emotionally, in the sense he lives in a different town and I lived in another town. Just as he wasn't pressurizing me to move to Punjab or Amritsar, I was never pressurizing him to move over. We've grown up as two persons who still belong to each other, but don't come in the way of each other at all. And I'm not dependent on him at all for consultations, for approvals, for decisions. No, I just take them. Sometimes share it with him, sometimes not even share it with him. There is no financial dependence between each other. I send him gifts. He's very fond of gifts. He may send me whatever he wants. I never have ever demanded anything of him. So there is no, how much did you give me and how much did I give you? There's nothing like that. It's an amazing relationship. And it will see through this life.
You know, you're lucky that you found a person like Brij Bedi. Maybe somebody else would not have given you these wings. Because you know how men are. Men want to own and possess. They don't want to let go. Your husband let go.
He let go, but it would have been still better if he was around.
Why it doesn't stay around?
Because he's Amritsar based, and that's it. He now has his own way of living.
But does he get lonely?
No, he too has developed. He's developed himself, like I have. But ideal would be to let go while living together. Mine is not an ideal situation.
It's not.
Not at all. But it's the best in the given situation.
But tell me something. Is he happy in this situation, or has he just adjusted?
I think he's grown in it. And to say learning to be happy in it, but I think he must have adjusted, because I've been busier than him.
Yeah. And maybe when he started out, this wasn't his idea of marriage.
No, this was his idea of marriage. He knew we'll be in two homes, because he knew I'm not going to be Amritsar based. So that was understood. That therefore there's no conflict on that. We thought this and that. That's why that conflict has not arisen. So ideal would have been if he was around too, and my daughter could have had a father all around rather than a grandfather.
But did he miss out on having his daughter around then?
I'm sure he did. Of course.
Okay. The relationship you had with your mother, have you been able to reproduce it with your daughter?
Mommy gave me much more time than I gave to my daughter. But the bond which my mother and I have had is exactly the bond my daughter and I have.
Hi, Saina. I'm so happy you could join us.
Thank you for having me here.
Tell me, when did you realize that your mother was different to other mothers?
I think I was very young, and when I used to see my mum in her uniform, energetic, you know, other mothers were always there with their daughters' frocks and what they were eating for tiffin. And because I still remember when she used to come home, actually I used to wait for her at the gate, and then her jeep used to come, and then she would get down with her PCAP on, and she would hug me, and the stars would kind of, you know, the stars she has, तो वो थोड़े से चुपते थे, and I used to ask her, what are the stars for? And she used to say, well, that's the position I hold. Yes. So that's when I realized that my mother is different.
Did you ever want her to be like other mothers?
Not really, because she's very cute. She's very cute. I mean that.
I loved you, Bedi, being called cute.
I mean that.
How is she cute?
She lives life on her terms and conditions completely. And the way she scolds me, the way she bullies me, the way she pampers me, everything about it is so Kiran Bedi style that I now find this so you singing.
Like what?
Well, she has these warning signals. If you wear a red lipstick, I'm not taking you with me. And she's very funny and humorous sometimes.
You mean there's a lighter side to Kiran Bedi?
There's a joker.
Completely. There's a child within her which not many people get to see. In fact, sometimes, you know, when she comes home in the evenings and we have this MTV, and she sees all those thug thug, you know, she actually imitates those. And she does. And she does a brilliant job with them.
No, I'm not a bad imitator.
Like
I do
how?
imitate. I can imitate that, the dance sequences, the way they broaden their legs and dance. These men sometimes. Remember the Mukabla songs?
Mukabla.
That's
that
right.
one.
Remember?
Okay.
And then when this man will dance with broad.
Yes, yes.
Remember?
yes.
I could do that. And I can even imitate the way people sometimes talk.
Like how?
This was in a recent international conference I was. The gentleman who was next to me, he didn't want me to hear what he was saying. And then he told the other one, I don't think it's gonna work like that.
Look at her. She's doing such a brilliant job with this.
I think he's right, but I don't think it works. It doesn't matter. Did you get to know what I said?
No. But didn't she do it well?
Very well. Completely became a different person.
No, she's very cute.
You know, nobody else could get away with calling her cute but her daughter. Why are you making these faces?
Mommy, see, didn't I tell you? We just had this little thing that this birthday I get a little diamond pendant. So one night I just slipped into her bed and I said, you know what? Last night I had a dream that there's a pendant right here.
She said, Mommy, I dreamt there's a pendant right here. I said, but I didn't dream it. You've got to mutually dream it to get it.
She just promised me a car. She was in one of those moods, beautiful moods, where she said she'll save 2 months' salary and buy me a Toyota, which was hilarious. Like, yeah, sure.
The salary is yet to come.
The salary is
But listen, you just said, but it's okay.
No, I hate anybody taking loans. So she was said, I will take it on a loan and I'll pay an
No,
installment.
you know what's going to happen? When I say, Mom, where's my car? Beta, why don't you tell me what have you really done to now earn this and deserve it? And there goes my car.
Oh, God.
I have a little Maruti, and which my dad gave me, and well, it's high time I change it. So I'm not fussy about these things. It's just that I love to take from my mom. It's not the taking part.
Yeah.
She's my giver, you know. She's given me everything in life. My mom sometimes calls me her calf and cow. That's what I really love.
What does it mean?
She's my little calf and I'm the cow. That's when we cuddle around.
You said she cannot be a mother first and then Kiran Bedi. What did you mean?
It's the Kiran Bedi persona that really, really dominates her life. She has to be Kiran Bedi first, then a wife, and then a mother, and then a sister. She cannot put the mother in her first and then Kiran Bedi.
When you were growing up, there must have been times when she had to be away on postings.
Sure, yeah.
What did that do to you?
I'm not going to give you a very cliched answer. I was okay, and you know, I understood, because there were times when I did not, and I did miss her. But the vital part is that she's been there for all the key moments. She's been there for my school functions. She's been there when I was going through a lot of sickness.
You've been in hospital ever since you were a little
Yes.
girl.
So from the age of 3 to the age of 13, I had nephrotic syndrome, and that's a kidney problem.
But it must have been a dilemma for you, Kiranji, because you have to do your duty and your daughter's very sick at home. What do you do?
It was very painful being away from her. And I was sent to Goa. That's the time when she was in a peak of a problem.
I nearly
praying.
died, yes.
I was calling home every day and she didn't come on the phone on that day. I said, Mummy, where's Guchu?
Why can't
Where
she
is
talk?
she? They said, Beta, now it's time to tell you, we need to hospitalize her. If you can come immediately. I just left everything. My pay was stopped. But I was with her for 6 months. And I refused to go back, saying, no more. Even if it is at the cost of my job, I will now stay here because she needs me.
Did you ever feel rejected because of her work?
Never, never. See, that's it. As a little child, I've always understood her needs, I've understood her. It's been lonely, but she's always been there. I know end of the day, Nothing bad can ever happen to me because my mother's there. She'll not let anything go wrong in my life. She's given me that I'm sitting here right now,
Sure.
holding hands. What more?
Tell me, what about your father? You meet him a lot.
No, not really, but I'm very close to him. He and I are more like friends. He doesn't scold me at all, and I'm the one who completely bullies him all the time. But it's a long distance relationship.
Have you missed not having a father around?
No. No. She's been my father and my mother both. I've not missed having a father.
You were named Sukriti at birth.
Yes.
How did you get the name Saina?
I just had this feeling in my heart that I belong to God, and I lovingly call him Godji. Saina is from Sainam. It's from Shirdi Sai Baba's name. A fakir gave it to me when I was 23.
And she's absolutely talking to Sai Baba regularly.
He's beautiful. I even kind of feel I'm married to him.
Really?
Yes, I totally feel I'm married to God.
So you wouldn't get married in...
I would. I'm waiting for that God to transform into a man.
Dear. How will we know?
I'll know.
And how do you feel about this?
She's very supportive.
Perfect. Very good. At least she gets the right person.
Right. Okay, you were a student of psychology as well, correct?
I was a student of first medicine,
Yes. and
then psychology.
so now you're producing a TV series based...
It's on her work.
Has it given you a greater, deeper understanding of what she's all about, or
You
didn't
know,
need...
I did not discover her while I was doing this. I did this because I'd already discovered her. I don't idolize my mother. I idolize her work. I love her as my mother.
She adores you too. I mean, look at her face when
My
you're
God.
around. I can see her face
It's
changing.
amazing.
She's going to cry. Let's give her a tissue.
She's a different person when you're here.
Do I get the car?
Have you always been this close?
We're very close.
She's stronger in mind than me.
Would you say you're stronger than your mother?
Who else can dare to say no to Kiran Bedi? I have
Very
to
few.
be. I have to be stronger.
What have you inherited from your mother?
My inheritance is credibility. Being Kiran Bedi's daughter means instant honesty, instant courage, everything good.
But a lot to live up to.
Yes, but I wish I would have inherited some jewelry and some saris.
No saris.
Because nothing, because I'm very feminine and chanchan and I wear my payal and I have these bangles on. And
None of that.
But she really likes it, you know, when I go chan, she loves it.
Oh, because I know where she is.
And that's what,
Well, listen, I just hope that Godji protects you.
thank you so much.
Thank you for this
Thank you
rendezvous.
so much. Thank you very much.